Hey there, how there, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to yet another Cutter Top 10 sports video. And today we are looking at the top 10 F1 upsets in history and basically shutting the book on Formula One type lists. So, Formula One has had some great drivers of the past. If you think about it, you think about Jim Clark, you're thinking of Graham Hill, you're thinking about even Mario Andretti, you're thinking Niki Lauda, Alan Prost, Ayrton Senna, Michael Schumacher, Lewis Hamilton, and Max Verstappen. But sometimes people come out of nowhere to win key races in their history. So anyway, here are the top 10. Number 10 is Michael Schumacher's first win, 1992 in Belgium. Now, Michael Schumacher wasn't always one of the greatest F1 drivers around. He was a rookie like in 1991 driving, and then by 92 when he was with Benetton, he actually put up a fantastic win, and it was a shock because people didn't think that Michael Schumacher was championship ready, and the fact about Schumacher's whole thing happened. So anyhow, Schumi tried to do what he could, and the greats have to win one sooner or later. Number 9 is Pierre Gasly losing at the 2020 winning, excuse me, at the 2020 Italian Grand Prix. Monza had a big time hosting it, especially in COVID times. And the AlphaTauri race team was not really the best. But Pierre Gasly capitalized on a turbulent race with safety cars and pit stop drama to win at Monza. Becoming the second Frenchman to win on tour on the F1 since 1996 and securing, well, the last French winner was Olivier Panis. That was the famous race at Monaco in which only 6 cars, quote unquote, finished. So anyway, it was the first time AlphaTauri actually won a race since 2008 with Sebastian Vettel. So it's amazing how they could get there for 12 years and not win a race. Number 8 is Giancarlo Fisichella winning at the Brazilian Grand Prix 2003. It was like one of the heaviest rainstorms you could see, but Brazil is known for its rain and all that at times. Anyhow, it was incident filled, and Giancarlo was racing for the Jordan Racing team, and then the race would be red flagged, meaning that they couldn't go on racing. And then, the result was revised, and so Fisichella got the win. A great win for a struggling team. Number 7 is Damon Hill almost winning in 1997 at the Hungarian Grand Prix. Damon Hill was a legend of his own. Well, his father Graham was a world champion. Damon would be facing off against Michael Schumacher for the 94 title, in which he lost on the final day. And then in 96, he won the championship, meaning that, hey, you know what? I'm a champion. I'm an F1 champion. However, Hill ended up missing out. He was in second place, but a technical problem ruined him from winning the race. And let's not forget that Damon Hill was actually racing for Arrows, who are underfunded and underappreciated. Damon Hill left Williams to go to Arrows. It was kind of awkward, being a world champion and then you're going to switch teams like that. And that's what you do. At number 6 is Rubens Barrichello at the 2000 German Grand Prix. It was one of those races in which it's like you're way back on the grid and you can't win. And that's what Barrichello did. He was 18th on the grid, meaning that there were only like 2 cars behind him. So he needed to do a lot of things in Germany. The weather would change and all of that. His tires would change. It was very chaotic. And Barrichello won for Ferrari. It's weird that Ferrari started that far back in 18th place. Usually it's like, oh, anything else at the top 6 to start is a disappointment for Ferrari. But Rubens did it. It was an emotional result, and he did it. He won coming from 18th. If memory serves me right, was it 1983 at Las Vegas that someone came from 20th on the grid and won? Well, that's what happened. Number 5 is Lewis Hamilton almost upsetting Formula One by winning the F1 title. Lewis Hamilton was just a fresh-faced rookie in 2007. He's still in F1 today in 2025, but 18 years ago he was a rookie, and he actually had competitiveness and could handle himself against the established stars. Hamilton was on his way, but he just missed out by 1 point. Like, Hamilton was so close to actually being a rookie winning an F1 championship. It would have been like massive headlines. Sure, Hamilton's won 7 titles ever since. Or was it 8? I can't remember. But yeah, Hamilton has won more titles. I mean, 2008, he won his title. It was just shock. So, anyhow, Hamilton did his job. I mean, it's kind of akin to Jacques Villeneuve because in '96 he almost was a rookie F1 driver to win the title. I mean, he came over from IndyCar winning the '95 Indy 500, and then '96 he went to F1 ahead of that massive Auto Club split. So he did so, and just like Hamilton, Villeneuve was close in '96 to being a rookie champion, and the next year he won. Number 4 is Pastor Maldonado winning at the 2012 Spanish Grand Prix. When you think of Venezuela, what do you think of? Beautiful ladies, oil, corruption, a decent soccer team that never seems to make the World Cup. But anyhow, you don't really think of race car drivers. And that's what Pastor Maldonado did. He drove in the 2012 Spanish Grand Prix, holding out Fernando Alonso in a stunning performance. He was actually on pole, which is hard enough, but Pastor Maldonado got Williams their first win in 8 years. His only career win, and the last time the Williams team won a race. So it was just amazing how Venezuela did that. Number 3 is, well, speaking of the Frenchman, when I talked about Pierre Gasly, Olivier Panis, 1996 Monaco Grand Prix. The '96 Monaco Grand Prix was one of the most anticipated Grand Prix because it was Jacques Villeneuve's first, and of course Schumi trying to do his best. But Monaco offered up a different fairy tale of crashes and inefficiency. So 6 cars were classified at the end, meaning they classified as finishing the race. And of the 6 drivers, it wasn't anyone big in F1. It was a guy from France. And for a team that had not won a race since 1981, that was Ligier, Ligier. And Olivier Panis came out of freaking nowhere to win. And it was his only Grand Prix victory. It was actually good because the Frenchman winning in Monaco was like big. But yeah, Joinville Field, it was chaotic, and rain-soaked. Number 2 is Sebastian Vettel winning the 2008 Italian Grand Prix for Toro Rosso. In treacherous conditions in Monza, 21-year-old Sebastian Vettel claimed a sensational pole position. And if that's not enough for the 21-year-old, he actually won the Italian Grand Prix for the Toro Rosso team. It was Minardi who was a back marker, meaning close to the back of the track. Minardi was not really that big. But, in the famous 2005 F1 race in Indianapolis, Minardi actually did have both their cars in the starting lineup of the 6 drivers. Nevertheless, Toro Rosso became big, and they actually won this race. And Sebastian Vettel was the youngest Grand Prix winner at the time, and it was the only time Toro Rosso won in F1. And at number 1 is Brawn GP's Fairy Tale in 2009. So anyhow, Ross Brawn bought a team. Honda pulled out of F1, and then Ross Brawn, of all people, decided to buy the team. And what was the price? £1 British. That's right, for £1 well, or what we call $1 British. He bought the team. Braun GP stunned the paddock when, out of freaking nowhere, Jenson Button won 6 of the first 7 races. It's like Jenson Button was always known for not having the best team or the best driving mechanics. But all of a sudden, Jenson Button won 6 of the first 7 races. And fortunately, that was enough to win both the drivers and constructors titles, meaning that, or well, what we call the team titles. So it was just amazing how Jenson Button out of freaking nowhere helped this small team win the drivers and the constructors championships and whatever. And what's also big is that it was their only season in F1. I don't know who bought the team, but it was just like, how the heck do you do that? It just doesn't make sense. And it would really never make sense. But Jenson Button was a world champion. Anyhow, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.